And we're back, and you are listening to Villaincast, BJJ Antiheroes, with myself, Chris the Villain Pains, and Naqi El Jefe I Shared, and welcome to Reap the Week. But first, a quick thank you to our members at In Theory BJJ Concept Driven Jiu-Jitsu for fight commentary, technique and concept videos, private coaching, monthly webinars, and Q&A sessions. Please visit www.patreon.com/InTheoryBJJ. Dude, do you have to bounce your head when I'm like...
I'm sorry.
Also, I've got the little script to make sure I don't fuck anything up next to your head. And all I can see is your head bouncing from side to side as I do every line. Cheers, man. Cheers.
It's just a habit.
Dude, it's keeping me in time, if anything. You're like a little drummer in the background.
Yeah. Every time we go, I'm going with a V. I'm
like, I've got a metronome. It's keeping me in time. So I expect to do that every week. One day we're going to be big enough that we can afford a jingle as well when we do this. And maybe I'll get in time with a jingle. Time to find a free jingle. I've given up on trying to get sponsors. Remember how that's used to start it? Like,
yeah.
Shout out to our sponsors, and it used to be silence. Maybe one day. Maybe one. Oh, speaking of sponsory shit, if it works, by the time this actually goes out into the air, or maybe the following day, the first bit of merch for In Theory BJJ should be in my hands. So
can't wait to read it.
Finally something. I've actually done something. I've actually made something. I think I must be on like a manic episode or something.
We need to get we need to get the Fighting Fit rash guards now.
Yeah, we do. I know. Oh no, it's actually on my list of things to do.
Good.
I'm actually going through progress. So we do have the original fighting. Did you have one of the original Fighting Fit rash guards? Or was it before you? Oh, it's only for the select few who were around in those early days to afford the original bat logo. One of the kids from the kids class came in the other day and was like, "Chris, I've made you a new logo, and do you want to use it?" And it's just like a house or something. I was like,
"Well, he's telling you the bat needs to be replaced. That's what he's telling you."
Yeah, it made me laugh because originally when we had the logo created, so Morgan Erdley is a fantastic artist. He's a Fighting Fit brown belt now. Please check out his artwork, Brinksman Art or something on Instagram. I have to put a link to it, but Morgan's the shit. So he made our Fighting Fit logo. And I remember at the time, he's like, Morgan's obsessed with comics, he's obsessed with Batman, and he made like 3 or 4 different logos. And like they were like literally the most roughest of sketches, like almost like stick men of like different animals, and eventually just like perfectly rendered bat. I was like, I wonder which one you want me to go for, Morgan. Is it the bat? I'm guessing. I like our logo. Originally, it was going to be like a American sports team kind of logo, like that was kind of plan. Like how you have like the different like American wrestling teams. It was kind of like that. That was the idea of it, and I still like it. Maybe it needs updating a little bit. Anyway, I've ranted on for a couple of minutes now. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
A late evening. You look wired as always.
Yes, as always. Relaxed
as
evening.
Always.
To be fair, I had a busy day. Wednesdays I work all day, don't I? Work and train as well, so just full on in the same place. Does your head in a bit.
Yeah, I know. It's like Christmas Eve on a Wednesday because the best class of the week's on a Thursday.
Yeah,
so we're both just sitting down on a Wednesday like, tomorrow's the day.
Thursdays.
Tomorrow we get to wake up and it's Jiu-Jitsu day.
Fighting.
It's also been the longest since, because obviously we have Monday, which is fantastic. We have a bit of MMA or dicking around on a Tuesday. Wednesday, it's a day of rest. Then Thursday is just manic. Yeah, I know. I'm always excited. Thursday used to be my most hated day of the week for some strange reason. I can't remember why. It was arsehole day. But now it's the best.
Yeah.
Like I always, whenever anyone wants to come down, I say, come down to Thursday. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple of questions in the mailbag, in our weekly mailbag.
Good.
I think this. So I'm only going to keep to a couple because I think we can actually. This is going to be quite an interesting talking point. A couple of talking points. So the first one is it's about balancing what students want to what you think they should get. As in, we are both coaches. We coach in our own places.
Yeah.
We have students, and students may want certain things. So how do you balance what a student may want to what you think as a experienced coach they should get? I'll let you go first.
I mean, I'm in a fortunate position at the moment where where I'm teaching. It's a new batch of guys, like I'd say about 4 months in now. So, I mean, I've got a couple of guys who are a bit more experienced, but the majority of the guys who are regular are all, about 4 months in now. And so even the guys who have got experience, a lot of the things that I'm teaching them at the moment, all the fundamental stuff, because I'm still on the getting up part, and we just, like I said last week, I've just moved on to leg locks. So I'm in the fortunate position where they're just going with the flow. They don't really question much of what I teach them because they just see it working. But I mean, the odd question here and there I'll answer. I'll be like, yeah, if they have to ask a specific question. Say, for example, submissions is a big question all the time, especially the way we teach like nowadays. And I look, in due time they'll come, but I'll show them a couple of things here and there. But like I said, at the moment I'm in a fortunate position. And in my privates as well, I'm just teaching the similar kind of syllabus. So I just scrapped what I used to teach, and I'm teaching everyone from the ground up at the moment. So I haven't encountered that problem too much yet, which I think I will eventually, because then they'll be like, oh, I want to know more about this, more about that. So, yeah, at the moment, I think I'm lucky in that regard.
No, that makes sense. I think as well because you have a new group, like you've set the tone.
Yeah.
And so they don't know any better, essentially. They come in and, I mean, they may get their ideas polluted from YouTube, and they might see videos and want to do other things.
John Wick.
Nah. Yeah. That wasn't where I was going, but yeah.
No, but John Wicking here. I've had 2 people jump guard on me and be like, where have you seen that, John Wick? I'm like, you'll get killed, bruv. Don't jump guard.
just rampage them into the ground.
Yeah.
That's why we don't do this.
Jump guard with a bloody Glock in your hand. Like, I'm like, you ain't got no Glock, mate. You're just going to die.
Yeah. And I think as well, it's probably been a bit hard for me because I've been obviously running the club for so many years. And there's different people from different generations who have come into the club. Like yourself, you've been in for, what are you up to now? Coming up to 9 years this year.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? You almost hit a decade. It's almost like we can get you a birthday present when you get 10 years. I would say a black belt, but we've ruined that one. Then we've got, Morgan's been in for, I think, coming up to 13 years. So and then we've got people who've been in for 2, 3, 1, etc. And so we've got a good mix of people. And so being able to change up the training, like I say, it's this whole. We're not necessarily doing just straight ecological. I think that's an important thing.
Yeah.
And I will be making videos on In Theory about the balance of ecological to detail heavy technique. I think there is definitely a balance.
Yep.
But then it's we spent so long doing get to your fucking feet and mat returns that it almost like became a bit of Groundhog Day of it's the same thing every single day. But as a coach, you've got to go, my job is to make the team better. You've got to trust me. I know it feels a bit groundhoggy, but there's a reason we're doing this, and it's from my experience. I mean, as well, I guess it changes the idea of what a coach is from just that professor of just giving out techniques. Like, here you go, I'm a repository of 1 million techniques. I will regurgitate them over time. To strategist, as in I'm figuring out the strategy for this gym, looking at where the weaknesses lie, using my experience level, and then we'll adjust the training accordingly.
Yeah.
And if there's something that takes longer, then fuck it, we'll take longer. If there's something that doesn't require as much time. That's why there's a lot of the arbitrary numbers, like, we're going to spend 1 month here, 1 month there. Why? Why 1 month?
I mean,
why can't it be 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with you. Something that I took massively, like, I didn't take a lot from my teaching stuff when I was in high school, but something that I took a lot from my teaching degree, shall I call it, for my PGCE was they said the best teachers are those that plan, but when they can see that the class is going in a different direction and they're not reaching to a point where your plan is telling you, scrap the fucking plan and get them to where they need to get to. And I brought it into coaching from day one, and obviously I've seen you do it over the years, and I'm like, this is what works because that's what the people need. There's no point in pushing people forward to a point where they can't even get to. You know what I mean? And it works. It works.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Don't be afraid to scrap the plan and just change it. Concentrate on what they need.
I think as well. I mean, we're both in on the ground floor. I mean, that's again one of the things I like about the culture we have is we don't separate by belts at all.
Yeah,
like no one gives a shit. No one wears it. And everyone rolls with everyone, which means, but that's the same as us. Like the amount of times I hear that some coaches don't roll with, the white belts or the beginners and stuff. I'm just like, but how are you supposed to know the direction of the team if you're not rolling with everyone? If you're not watching the roles, if you're not sitting there just paying attention to the roles, paying attention to the training, and then rolling with people and feeling what they're good at and what they suck at, and the gaps in their training if you're not being conscious with that as a coach. And that's one of the reasons why I've never necessarily had a curriculum. Like, I'm going to do this for the next year. I've tried a couple of times, but it's like I say, there's no point when you have the ideas in your head that you know what you should be going for, and you adjust the plan accordingly. And then you're evaluating all the time on the ground. It's like, right, okay, cool. They suck here, they suck there. They're good at this, they're good at that. Okay, we need to adjust this. We'll adjust it. Instead of, oh, okay, well, we haven't done this for a while, and this week we're going to do Darcy's. Why? Because we haven't done it. We're doing side control again. Why? Like, how long are we doing it for? A month, or a week, or 2 weeks? Like, why? Like, so does it make any sense?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, literally, when I decided to change from obviously I've changed it to leg locks from where we were doing the whole getting up and the wrestling. I literally just said to him the 2 weeks before, I said, look, next week's going to be the last week. We're going to be doing all this wrestling and getting up stuff. The week after, we're going to go to leg locks because I'm happy with your wrestling at the moment. And then I know what you guys need next now from obviously rolling with them and then watching them roll. I'm like, okay, this is what they're missing. So now this is what we're going to start working on. And then keep bringing in, keep starting. The class starts with, again, not spending too much time on it, but the wrestling drills and getting up, just literally as part of the warm-up. So it's still there. And then it's like, okay, now we're doing leg locks, and the teaching has completely changed. We've gone from the, let's call it the modern, trendy, ecological approach to now we're very heavy technique based because it's leg locks. And you can't just say to people, twist, just get up out of this and do this with your legs. There's certain things and certain ways we've got to show them to hold the leg, because it's not just natural to know how you're going to hold the leg and turn it in certain ways, and the dexterity and all that stuff. So that's my chain of thought behind it as to why I've teaching them leg locks first thing that they've hit the ground, not guard or not anything else really. So I'm gonna, like, again, in my head I'm thinking maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks, because I only see them once a week. But if I go in on Saturday and I'm like, okay, we're third week in, they're getting a little bit of knowledge on ankle locks, I'll take them on to heel locks, you know what I mean? So I just judge it by what I can see and what I can feel, especially when I roll with them, because I won't roll with them every week. I'll roll with them like once every 6 weeks or once every 7 weeks, just to see how far they've progressed. Just because most of them are, the highest belt in there is blue. So it's like, it's not always worth me rolling, and then especially spazzy white belts injuring you. So that's something I'm afraid of sometimes. I don't want to be injured.
I like how you, I had a memory come up on my phone. I think it was earlier this week.
Okay.
And it was just a picture of me just sitting there looking sad with my nose off to the side.
Oh, shit. I was a spazzy white belt. I will admit it on camera. I kicked you very accidentally as a white belt in your nose and turned it away.
You didn't turn the tip of my nose away. You snapped my nose. We both heard it.
The side effect was obviously that. Then
I know, it didn't make me any prettier. But do you remember hearing it?
Yeah, I remember.
You heard it.
Right now when you said it, I just remembered the up kick.
Yeah, it was that little side kick from guard, and your heel went straight across the bridge of my nose and snapped it, and we both heard the and we're like, oh.
Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, I did. Because I was heading out to Euros, and I was like, oh.
Yes, we were, yeah. It was before the Euros.
That's going to limit my progress in training because my nose is currently sideways.
I'm sorry.
It's cool. It's cool, man. These things happen. Sometimes you just roll with white belts because you have to as a coach.
Yep. But I think we make better white belts now. Like the current crop of white belts, across for me anyway, that I can see from both sides of the pond, they're not that spazzy because I think we're teaching them in a certain way, if you know what I mean.
I think the thing about being spazzy as well is that I think again it's a cultural thing. I don't like the word spazzy. You know,
yeah,
flailing.
Yeah,
flailing.
Out of control.
I think we need
out of control.
I think it's because when you start sparring, it's you're trying to prove yourself, and so you'll use strength. You'll try and use explosiveness, and you don't know what you're doing with your body.
And the uncertainty as well of what's happening to you, I think, makes people go.
But I think the whole kind of ground up Matt Returney style I don't need, because again, one of those frustrations you always hear is like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Previously, especially when there's submissions involved, because if you're a definite disadvantage. But now when you say to them, okay, well, I just want to get up, just don't land on your back, just stay upright for me. And the other person, they're not even going to try and submit you. They're just going to do that to you as well. They're just going to try and stop you from getting up. They're also going to look after you. We're not trying to hurt each other. We're growing as a team. So just try and get up for me. That's it. And just on that alone, it's given direction and less flailing.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you can just keep it that way, and people feel they can actually get involved, know what roughly to do, and it actually gives them some use to us as well. You know, they have, when we have quite a few students now who are, I mean, we did the promo video from the other day. Like, that was a white belt you were dealing with.
Yeah. Who
wouldn't stay the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit Iron Man-y, like, stay down.
Gets me to level 2 of like...
like in that first gear.
First gear with the white belt, I'm thinking, first gear with the white belt, this shit ain't right, something's going on.
Dude, I had him, I think it was the last round, and I even said to him, like, just stay down, Andy, just stay down. Don't make me do this to you.
I think I was rolling with someone. I just looked over you in the ring, and you're on top of him. I'm back mounted, choking him. I'm like, he's getting fucked. He's pissed Chris off as well.
I wasn't choking him. I was just there, like, stay down, Andy. Just stay. Like, just literally whispering to him, just stay down. Just don't get up. Like, don't make me do this. Yeah. It's for our benefit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's one of the things. Then going back to the original question of, we know roughly the direction. Like, and it's changing that idea from being a professor just handing out techniques to a strategist of, we want this team to succeed. How is the team going to succeed? And we have to teach the team, especially that cultural idea of rising tide. If we all do the right thing, we get better as a team. We're not here competing against each other. We're bringing each other up. And so then once you kind of ingrain that mentality, it makes way more sense to then go, right, as the team, collectively, how are we doing? These are some issues. Let's improve this then. Or this is where we're really good. Let's focus on this. Let's make sure that is our... I use the analogy of like a grain of sand in like an oyster kind of eventually becomes a pearl. Like, you have that visual idea, and then everything kind of grows around it. I think that's a useful way of approaching teaching, and again, like, as long as you can convince the students that this is for our collective benefit, we do this. I'm not just withholding shit from you just for the fun of it. Like, there's a direction and a strategy to this. If the strategy doesn't work a little bit, we'll adjust, but trust us. Like, we've been here a while.
Yeah.
And I think as well, especially when it's a rising tide mentality, people, there's always going to be a where you fit amongst everyone else at your skill level. And I think sometimes it's hard, especially if you don't have a lot of beginners joining. You don't realize actually how good you're getting. Like, imagine we just mentioned Andy, like a very powerful white belt. Imagine if he was the last white belt we had. He wouldn't know that he's a pain in the ass until someone new starts,
Yeah.
and then you'd absolutely just crush the soul out of them. You're like, oh, okay, you were more powerful than you realised. Yeah, so I think that's also one of those things that a coach has to do, is bring in new people just so you can chuck more meat into the grinder, so people are aware that they've actually made some benefits sometimes. Next question. This is actually interesting because I feel I have something to say about this. It's about training with lower belts and improving by training with lower belts. Do you think training with lower belts would actually affect how you are against higher belts? Would it make you more gun shy?
Okay, so I've got a simple rule for myself. That's why I roll with anyone. Is I will try and learn. I'll try to make the role enough for the other person that they're learning something, but I'm also learning something as well. So that could be anything. Again, dependent on who I'm rolling with, if I know what their skills are. So, for example, like Renault, he's a white belt. So I know, he's big, heavy on the wrestling. So I can have a full-on wrestling round with him. You know what I mean? Where he's going to learn and I'm learning as well, because he's strong and he's hard to fucking take down. So I'm learning. I'm not, if I want to, and if I wanted to turn into a fucking, just smashing, I can set it up and take him down. I've got the capability. I know I can do that. But then he's not learning anything because I'm just on top for the full round and he's just surviving. But then you could take someone like Lee. He's got good leg, like he's trying to learn the leg lock game and he's trying to get good at him. So if I want to play a bit of legs, I'll be like, yeah, let's play legs. So I'm not going to waste my time trying to take him down, and I'll probably take him down straight away and then be like, okay, engage the leg locks myself because I know that's his strength. So I always try and find a way. And obviously you've seen this. I don't think I've ever declined anyone a roll. I've always rolled. I'd roll every round. And I roll with anyone as well. And I always think that I've got to take something from this role and give them something back as well. So it's not just useless. And I don't think I've ever had a role where it's been completely like the other person said that was shit, or I've thought, I've got nothing out of this role. Maybe in the earlier days when I thought it was always about fighting and winning and blah, blah, blah. But now it's as you get more experience and the mindsets change, where it's learning, and then there's a time to go hard and, when you're ready to compete a week, 2 weeks out or whatever. But other than that, it should just be learning. So that's the way I approach it. So I always feel that you can learn something off everyone. And it all depends. If you're in high belt, it's your responsibility. I believe that. It's your responsibility as a high belt where this role goes. Unless, obviously, they come out and they're fucking just going for you, then they've set the pace and you've got to, bring them down a bit. Like, hello, I'm in control, but I'm letting you do things and, just take it a little bit if you want to play.
Do you think, though, that training with lower belts helps you be able to compete against higher belts?
I don't know, man, but I think that isn't a real big issue, because sometimes I don't get the luxury of, like on a Wednesday, for example, when I do my open mat. The last few weeks, I've only had 2 white belts coming in, but I've still got to get my training in, and I've got to get that, at the end of it, feel, okay, I'm done. Like, I've had a good session, so. No, I think you can compete. I think it's in your mind what you need to work on. I think there isn't a big issue. And I think it's been proven many times, you don't need to be part of a world-class team to be a world-class champion. You can think of that many examples in many different sports as well. So, and a lot of these jiu-jitsu guys now that are emerging nowadays, it's like a lot of them didn't have world-class fellow training partners, they just grew together. And even you, for example, you didn't have anybody higher belt than you to train with. And you know what I mean? Then don't give me that face. I was coming to you, Chris. I was coming to you. I just didn't want to say you first, Save the best to last in it. But yeah, you never had the luxury of training with any higher belts than you. You were the highest belt, and then you've competed very well, into Europe, to the European level as well. So I don't think. I think you could still do shit. I honestly can. I believe I can get to a decent level with everybody that I'm training with, and most of the people I train with, I'm on a higher belt than them anyway. So
I've competed to a transcontinental level.
Yeah, transcontinental. Yeah, shit.
At black belt.
Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, you think so? This is what I find interesting is that.
Sorry, you went on a bit of a rant then.
It's cool. I like rants. This is what this is for. Just ranting into the ether. I didn't have anyone above me, and I got to black belt. Like legitimately, like was then considered a black belt, training person. And you look at my belt checker; it's just a list of people saying he's a bad person.
Like the best white belt in the world or something, labeled or something like that.
Yeah, and then it just went to one a mean black belt. But you think I only got there from consistently training with lower people, which is, I mean, so the way I kind of saw it, I remember actually thinking of this at the time, over 10 years ago, is so Jake, our blue belt Jake, he started with me. Hey Jake, he normally listens to this. He started with me when we started together 2009, and we were very equal. We were similar size, similar weight, similar build, and we'd almost 1-for-1 every round that we'd like submit each other, and we had a heck of a rivalry and friendship going out of it. And then he left, and I didn't really have anyone then who could push me the way he did. And then I got a new student pretty much joined the second he left, Max Bickerton, who is a big name around London, the UK right now, Polaris, etc. So he joined whilst he was in sixth form, and eventually he gets up to a really good level under me, and then he's someone who I then have issues. He became the new Jake, 1-for-1 each other, we're having really good tough rounds, and then he leaves, goes to Braulio's, goes to university, and all of a sudden I'm like, right, okay, well it's empty again. And around about the same time, Morgan joins, and Morgan becomes that kind of person. And it's one of those things of like, the way I've seen it is that's why I've never kind of held anything back, and I've tried to like, whatever I do, I want you to understand it. I want you to understand how to break it. I want you to understand everything about it, because the only way I'm ever going to get better is by training with good people who I'm essentially having to get there. And that's always been the case Fighting Fit, and that's why when I got my black belt, when Preet awarded me it, I said, look, I wouldn't be here without any of you, because I only got here from training with you all, and you guys being beasts and monsters, and we were us all training hard together. And as well, I think training with beginners, and you probably agree with this, training with very basic people consistently, not just doing advanced classes, but having to break down the same concepts repeatedly over and over and over again. So like shattering them into atoms and understanding the particular parts has made me understand jiu-jitsu way more than anything else. And being able to do that and apply the good theories along with just, creating the right mindset of like, we're going to train hard as a team, which has always been the Fighting Fit way. That's been enough to make me a pain in the arse. And we talked to Josh McKinney about this. He did the exact same in Granite City, Illinois. Call out to Josh McKinney of the Isoka Jiu-Jitsu show. The guy beat AJ Gazarm, I think the Nashville Open, IBJJF, and he lives in the middle of fucking nowhere, like Granite City, Illinois. And he's just built this, head nod BJJ team, which is just a brutally good team out there. And anyone from Head Nod, I miss you guys. And you think, yeah, you can absolutely do this as long as the coach is honest and builds up the team and understands that she is only ever going to be as good as their team. Then build your team up, like make that rising tide mentality again. Like we all rise together, and you make me better, I'll make you better. There's some humility in that. Like, train with everyone. But also I think like what you said there is never refuse a role. Like never turn someone down. But I also think that you gotta understand that these aren't people, they're not God, I'm changing, man. They're not just belts on the mats, like lower belts, high belts. They're friends.
Yeah.
Like I want to train with I want to play a game with my friends. All these people in this room are my friends. I know their names. I care about them. I ask how they are, their jobs, their families, and I want to train with my friends. So I don't see them as like a lower belt or high belt, or it's like, no, I'm having a fun time with my friends. And the more time I spend with my friends, the better at this sport I will be. I think if the whole gym can have that mentality, then you'll just get plenty of rounds in, and you'll train right, and you'll fall into place for you.
Yeah.
If you have a good strategy. So absolutely, I think even in these gyms that are in the middle of buttfuck nowhere with no one around you, there's plenty of information on YouTube, in books. I had Submissions 101 and Jiu-Jitsu University on by Gaval. That's it, and that was enough. It's pretty much the only reason I was left in charge of Fighting Fit was because I knew how to read compared to everyone else in the room. Oh, this one's mildly intelligent. None of them do jiu-jitsu. Not go, hey, listen to this. One thing actually, then going on this idea, this sort of random tangent. I'm going to be releasing if you're around tomorrow, so I want to make this video about posture. So I had a brain melting epiphany last week. About the idea of, again, I game a lot, so it's affected by that terribly. This idea that balance and posture, I know we've been talking about it a lot, and I want to bring this into training. I want to record the results. Balance and posture is obviously very important. About breaking someone's balance, pushing them over, etc. Something we tried to fight against and being able to improve by staying upright. And we've done that. But I've also really become to appreciate the importance of posture and realizing that before anything can ever happen in jiu-jitsu, be it a takedown or a technique or whatever, there's always a posture break just before you do what you do. If the person's already got poor posture, it's dead easy. I mean, as in joint alignment and spinal alignment. If their alignment of their skeleton is off, they have no posture. But if their alignment of their skeleton is good, they're strong, they have posture. And you've got to break their posture before anything can work. And it made me really appreciate that. Imagine we were playing Tekken or Mortal Kombat or something like a fighting game. And you have the health bar at the top of the screen. But then underneath you have a stamina bar, like a posture bar.
Yeah.
And then you've got to break the posture bar before you can inflict damage to the health bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of took that mentality with me when I rolled a view the other day. As in, I was like, right, I'm going to see this. I can't do shit to him. If he's focused and he's on it and he's balanced and his posture's good, I can't do shit to him. He's too strong. He's too powerful. If I break his posture, he's weak in that moment of time. And that's where I can deliver damage to him. I literally went Armored Core on you. Full PS5, nerding shit on you. And I was like, every time I attacked you, I didn't just go for the technique.
I felt it.
I understood there had to be a posture break before. And if I was trying to get hooks in on your back, I wasn't just going to put hooks in. I was like, right, break his posture, go for the hook.
Yeah.
Break his posture, go for the hook. Before I went for any sort of sweep or anything, I was like, posture break, go. And also I then became very aware of my own posture bar. And I was like, I can't let him touch mine. If he starts affecting my posture, I can't then do the techniques I want because I've got a low posture bar. I literally started to nerd this shit out. So I might actually record out a roll if I've got the time to do this, because this feels like it might be a lot of work to try and animate this into it. But almost put a posture bar in our roll, almost do a health bar on both, and just record when there's been a posture break, almost like a cartoon, just bang, posture break, and you can see when the techniques happen or what makes the techniques work.
That'd be mad.
Or he's got no posture right now, someone's fighting without posture and become really easy to sweep or fuck up or submit. And so I want to try this as a class and experiment of, right, everyone roll, be aware of this kind of health bar, posture bar. And be aware that, right, your techniques are only going to be maximum effective if your posture bar is full and theirs is empty. So break the fuck out of their posture bar and keep yours good. And I want to see actually what that causes, because I think I pretty much said this in the webinar in theory. And then Dan Herr put it on his fucking Instagram again. Someone's feeding him my information, man. I swear to God. Or I'm losing my goddamn mind. I swear he is. I'm onto you, John. You're probably listening to this. No, he isn't. He's definitely not. I'm just losing my marbles. So yeah, I want to record this. I want to see what happens, because I think focusing on posture breaks, realizing the importance of posture, and realizing that you have to break someone's posture for anything to work. If they've got no posture in the first place, that's why everything would work. But when you come across people who are aware of their posture and understand what good posture is, fuck me, they're hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And I think black belts and high belts just have it naturally ingrained in how they move. Just in general, it's not like the only time you ever hear posture is like close guard, like posture. And he's like, no, it's everywhere. Like, it's your alignment of your body. If you break the alignment of their body, they are weak for that moment in time. Whilst they're weak, fuck them up. Diminish their health until they're nothing. Yeah, I attacked you like that relentlessly on that roll. I was quite violent with it as well. I realised when you were in Turtle, I was just like punching your head into the fucking floor relentlessly. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But it felt good. Sorry. I was trying this idea. I was like, I wonder how much I can affect. Because you're obviously, me and you have very close roles and we're quite powerful against each other. So I thought, you know what? I can't let him have his power like normal. I can't try and attack someone who's fully postured. I need to fucking snap him relentlessly and see what happens. And then the gi really worked well.
Yeah.
I can make it a gi video.
And the gi it was the gi. He's played a lot of part of it. I was like, fuck it up. This is strong, man.
Yeah, Chris is Chris angry today?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, fucking hell, he's not happy today.
Someone pissed on his Rice Krispies. So yeah, I'm going to record the class tomorrow and see what happens, because I want to see this idea of posture breaking relentlessly on someone. Man.
Good idea.
Yeah, I'm excited because if this goes well, I think we're going to have a really rough evening.
Yeah.
So anyone listening to this, which I actually think there are people listening to this now. I do check the stats. People listen to this. Check the YouTube out. It'll be coming out, what's this, Thursday. This comes out, so it'll be Thursday night, 30th. So probably the 1st, maybe, by the time it's rendered. So, yeah, 30th, 1st, no, December. It'll be a class on posture breaking from Fighting Fit on the Chris Payne's BJJ channel. And I'll probably do a deeper dive into it on the In Theory BJJ if you want to sign up for that. Plug. Also, you've got some stuff so Naqi, we're back making videos of Naqi again. You've been making some more. You get riled up by Instagram, don't you? Like people doing dumb shit on Instagram. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how people are making money off shit, man. I don't like that shit. Like, you're being bullshit to people. It's all nonsense, and it's not right. Somebody needs to do something about it. I'm surprised nobody has yet. Like, why aren't people calling out bullshit? So yeah, one video at a time.
I think it's because jiu-jitsu became my Aikido.
Could be.
We're one step away from Aikido right now.
Yeah.
And the second you start to step out the bubble a little bit and go, this makes no sense, you shine a light on it and you go, oh yeah, it doesn't make sense. And then some people can't accept that fact that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Some people can accept that fact. And you know what? It doesn't make sense sometimes. I know. I'm aware, Nak. I'm aware. It's okay. But yeah, please check out, which is your Instagram channel for this?
Yeah, Naqi.l.Jefe.
I'll make sure I link that in the description for this video. So if you listen to this on Spotify or other things, Apple, Amazon, maybe, Google, although it's becoming YouTube podcasts now. Why do they have to do this? Go to YouTube, the video's on there, and then all the links will be in the description. We'll put everything on there. Thank you for your time again, as always. I love Reap the Week.
It's sick.
I keep thinking I need to get other guests on this podcast, and I have. I've been talking to Jordan Pressinger of Jordan Teaches Jiu-Jitsu. Preet wants to come back on. I think he misses me. Greg Sodas, spoke to him last week. He should be coming back on as well. So we've got other BJJ Globetrotters coaches. Naomi Schultz, who is obviously trained down in Austin right now. Hope to get on in the next week or two. So there's plenty of people who want to come on, but it's like, it's never the same without you. I'll be sitting there and be like, oh, it's not him. Make it weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for your evening.
No
thank you for your time. I'll see you at training. And anyone paying attention who's made it this far, please check out these videos about posture breaking. Check out In Theory BJJ. And let us know your thoughts. And Oh, I'm going to be doing a new webinar as well, so they'll be advertised. But yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for another episode of Reap the Week.
Thank you.